Hi, tubers and footers. I can't sleep. If you hear snoring, it's gonna be Woo. It's not me, that's for sure. I wish it was me, but it's not me. So, let's talk about friendship, and in particular, female women friendship, and whew, the ride that can be a lot of times. And last night, well, I guess the night before, because it's now morning. Who knows? Anyhow, forget it. It doesn't matter. Time it's just evaporated for me at this point. But we had a new moon women's gathering. We had a women's new moon gathering the other night, which I really enjoy going to because I believe that women, when they come together and they truly unite on a common purpose and a common goal, there really is no force stronger on this planet, because with that comes love, and that's the most powerful force. And so women have this natural energy, and they're natural creators. And so when women come together, they're able to create this nurturing environment and this place, and they can hold this precious sacred space. And we're missing that in the world right now. And especially when women don't trust one another, and there comes this pitfalls and words that are said that really don't need to be said, because they come from a place of embedded thoughts that were not your own. So what I'm getting at is, like, Disney constantly has this theme of the princess or the girl and the prince, and the one girl wants to get the one prince, and once she has to fight all these other girls for the one prince, and once she gets him, she still has to fight to keep him. And it's just a horrible narrative that girls have grown up with, and it creates tension that doesn't need to be there. And I've noticed that in a lot of situations, especially as being a strong, dominant, very independent woman. I'm not allowed to shine bright because it makes other women feel uncomfortable. It makes men feel uncomfortable. That's why I tend not to talk a lot about those things, because, again, it's part of that programming. You're not allowed to shine too bright. And so we need to really work on these social programming that we take part in, and that we also put on other people. And something that I've been really working with is this gender role thing. And I've been all over the board on it. And I can understand different positions. And within that, I really do try to understand where people are coming from and why they make the choices they make. Because the path is important. Two people given the same circumstance will do different things because of the journey that they've been on, and the choices that they've made, and the situations they've been in. And so it's beautiful, though, in that, because then it creates this beautiful garden of all these different varieties, and if you had the same flower and just It's, of course, it's still pretty, but it's not as breathtaking as uniqueness. And so women start trying to mold into this one Barbie woman, and that's unrealistic, and like Vogue and, all these different set this female standard, which is unachievable. And we just need to stop this narrative as females, as women. I don't want to see my nieces grow up thinking that they're not allowed to shine too bright. That's horrible. And I think about that every time I dim my light, because I just don't want to intimidate someone, or I don't want them to feel like I'm bragging, or I don't want them to feel like they're less than me, or they haven't achieved anything. Like there's all this weight that comes with whatever. And so there's a lot of tendency that women don't trust one another, and they're worried that, you're going to take my man, or, whatever. And if anyone thinks I want to take their man, the one thing I can say to that is just go look at the video of my husband running on the beach, and then get back to me on that thought. It ain't happening. So my husband and I are very much in love, and that is one of the most beautiful love stories that I would love to tell, and maybe I should tell that after this. So what I'd like to say is I have had friendships with women who cannot have friendships, and they've never had friendships with other women, and I've managed to cultivate them and create these long-term friendships, and they're beautiful, and they trust me, and they know my heart is in the right place. They know my intentions and my motivations are coming from a place of love. And there's a big difference, because if I ever say something to them, they don't question what my motives and my intentions are, because they know. And that's a beautiful thing. And even if they did, they have the safety net of knowing they can ask me. And that is something we should cherish, is that ability to share one another's truth and allow one another to speak our truth and not be badgered for it. And and right now I've quite a few friends who have other female friends, but they're not really great, strong, building, like, good friendships that offer a strong foundation worth to build upon. And which causes problems in marriages and other things, which a marriage is very sacred to me, and those vows are very sacred, and ceremonies are sacred. And so when you make a vow in a ceremony, that is something that should be sacred and held and cherished, and it's something worth working on and worth fighting for. And so when I see any of my friends are in these rocky times, it really hurts, and I want the best for them. And that's when I pray for what is best in their best interests. Praying for what they want isn't probably in their best interests oftentimes, and knowing that is something we as humans could do a lot better at as well. And something that AI had said was one of the common denominators of depression in humans was expectations. And so we set these expectations, and when they're not met, it affects us. And so that's something I've been learning and trying to focus on, is not setting expectations, even for a movie. Like, don't go into a movie expecting it to be good, you know, because then when it doesn't meet that expectation, or expecting it to be funny, or, whatever, again, you're setting an expectation. So when it doesn't meet that expectation, you're unhappy. And so we are given the ability to make choices in life. And that's a power we have. That free will and that ability to choose to be happy, to choose to be sad, to choose to be angry, to choose to be whatever. It's a choice. And it's a choice you make, And I struggle with those choices on the regular, especially when I'm dealing with pain. Like right now, I'm in a ton of pain. So it's hard for me to sleep when I'm in a lot of pain. And so I have to rock a lot to stretch those lower lumbar discs out. I've had over 9 major back surgeries, and so my back is toast. So, I have a spinal cord stimulator implanted in my spine, in my back, with leads running up my spine. So, yeah, it's serious, So I really understand a lot of different journeys that people take, and I really have no problem to be able to put myself in other people's shoes and really sympathize and empathize with where they are in their journey. And I think that it is really necessary that women start coming together and start talking with one another, and to start shedding these horrible belief systems and programming that has been put into us from the get-go as little girls. And again, create that sacred space, and hold it and cherish it, and let it develop into something beautiful for all the world. And the 13 grandmothers, they're on a mission, and all these powerful women are making the steps forward. And I really do feel that we're getting there, but we just have to recognize this little tiny snag. And once we get over that snag, and we can cross over and really, really step into something beautiful and harness something truly, truly captivating, and create something we've never had before as humans. And I look forward to those kind of adventures, and that's where I like to spend my time, is trying to make this world a better place, not just for humanity, but for all of life. And so, I think, especially with my NDEs and this mission I'm on, there's a lot of purpose-driven life out there, and every single human has a purpose, and no one is any better or less than anyone else. And once we truly embrace that, and understand that the person suffering with a meth addiction, and the king, and the person in the middle are no different. We're all human, and it's circumstances. And so we, as humanity, with all the money, the power, the time, the influence, the technology, we can do so much better than what we've done. And so that's a goal of mine. I like to be goofy, and I like to dork around and be silly, and I love, this journey I'm on. And I just am really inspired by where it may lead, and where it's going to take me. I have no idea, but I'm a spontaneous person, and so I enjoy spontaneity, and a schedule for me is, you know, and that's why I guess I really, really enjoyed, my career and stuff, because it was never the same day. You really never had the same problems, and, you're always solving something new, and that's fun, and that's interesting, and it keeps life exciting. And so I think, once we as women grab our power back and firmly get a grip on it and are able to unite and truly embrace one another as women, we are going to create a beautiful world that is exciting and precious to be a part of. And then along with that, all the other stuff will start coming into play, because people that are stuck on these addictions won't need those somewhere to run from, because they're going to want to be there in the moment. They're going to want to participate, and they won't need to hide and get away from it. And like the mental health issues will start to subside as well, and all the beautiful things that it will start to create, and and just keep going and going, and just like you look at it like a big old galaxy spinning, or a ripple effect, you know it's nice that you want a beautiful ripple effect, but you don't want a tsunami waiting at the other end, right? So, you know, that's the beauty of women. We are able to add this touch to things. It's a soft, nurturing touch, and we're mothers, we're creators, we're, we're all these things. We wear all these different hats. And so I think once we embrace who we really are and learn to love and trust one another, we are going to create something incredible. And I really am excited about that. And I really would love to be a part of that. That's like, well, like being part of women's TED conferences and stuff was something precious to me, and so I really, really am excited about where everything's going. And so I have a lot of different little pet projects here and there, but, ensuring that women friendships are created and cherished and nurtured and developed is something I take very personally, and I take very seriously. And so I look forward to hopefully being able to inspire women and young girls, and I don't know, just the new moon ceremony, the women's gathering was so powerful, and some of the suggestions that were given to me were just, it means a lot. So I don't know what I'll do with that information, but if it can help others, then that is what I would like to do. So, okay. I'm going to get all emotional. So I better go. See you, tubers and footers. Love ya. Peace.